Welcome back to the Sun TV Morning Show. See your host Abraham Manijoda, and I believe we had a good time in the newspaper review segment. Although we went into some statistics and figures that I know gives a lot of us headaches. But that we need those statistics, we need those figures, especially the inflation rates, the change in prices, and what are we. But this time around, we're going to go soft. We're bringing to you an interview about insecurity. And we have a guest today that is going to speak on the insecurity that has to do with Karim Lamido local government. But before we go on, let me just give us some background information on what actually is going on. So we're going to turn our attention to the growing security concern in Karim Lamido local government area, Taraba State. This is an area known for its rich cultural diversity, agricultural potential, and vibrant youth population, but which has recently faced episode of insecurity that have disrupted peace and daily life in one of the oldest local governments in Taraba State. In response to these challenges, we have community stakeholders, particularly youth leaders, have begun to speak out, emphasizing dialogue, unity, and collective responsibility as tools for restoring calm and stability. So joining us on the morning show is this morning is the chairman of the Karim Lamido Youth Progressive Forum. And the Youth Progressive Forum is a platform that represents the voice, aspirations, and concerns of young people across the local government. So this youth leader has been actively engaged in youth mobilization, peace advocacy, and community sensitization. And this morning is going to be speaking on peace in Karim Lamido. So I'm going to introduce to you right away our Comrade Terra Duda Panya, the chairman of the Karim Lamido Progressive Youths. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Abraham.
Yeah, you're welcome to the morning show.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the fact that our youth are beginning to speak out on the insecurity in Karim Lamido. Because if you look at it, when insecurity comes, it is the youth that get involved in the fight. It is the youth that carry the arms. It is the youth that bear the brunt of most of these issues, the youth, the women, and the children. But now youths, some weeks back, you did a press conference calling for peace. You brought leaders from all the ethnic groups, and they all agreed that peace is what we all want. This issue is very dear to me because I'm also from Karim Lamido, a local government area. I could have gone for Christmas this holiday, but unfortunately, no one will like to travel in this kind of insecurity. So I really appreciate that you guys are speaking out, and you're speaking out for peace, not for war. So you're welcome to the show.
Thank you once again.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. I want you to briefly just introduce yourself so that for those of us that don't really know you, we know who you are.
Thank you for having me this time, Mr. Abraham. As you rightly said, my name is Comrade Terra Duda Panya. I am the chairman of the Karim Lamido Youth Progressive Forum, a forum that is made up of the youth from Karim Lamido, the only forum or a platform that speak in the interests of the youth and the people of Karim Lamido. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let's go straight to the issue at hand. What exactly is the nature of the crisis going on in Karim Lamido, and who are those involved in this security crisis?
We are passing through, or we are going through a lot of crisis at the moment in Karim Lamido. The crisis is in fact taking another dimension. We have three major crises that is facing us as a community. We have that of farmers and herders crisis. We have communal dispute, that of the Karinjo, Wurkun, and the Shomo. Then we have that of the kidnappers and the cattle rustlers. So majorly we have three different crises facing us in Karim Lamido local government at the moment.
Okay. Now, if you look at that crisis, can we isolate them and look at the root causes of each of them? Let us start with the one that is popular to everyone, that is almost in every community in the north. You have the herder-farmer clashes. What is the cause of these farmer-herder clashes in Karim Lamido local government?
To talk about the cause of these farmer and herders clashes, we have to go back to the days where our parents, our great-grandparents, stays together with these herders in Karim Lamido local government. Back in those days, there are no issues of clashes like this. To me, I think the growing in population and the growing in numbers of farmers and cattle rearers contribute to this crisis, because you can look at Karim Lamido. We have different communities there, and we are traditionally farmers. The major source of living is farming. So everybody during the farming season, everybody go to the farm to do preparation and whatever for farming. And you find out that these herders, only one person will have like 100 cows to his name, 150, 200. And you can see that the growing in population, the more the population grows, the more the number of farmers increase. So people that used to farm like 2 to 3 hectares are now farming 5 to 10 hectares of land. You see the demand for expansion have increased. And the herders also keep on accumulating cows in numbers to their name. And they are using this same land that have been used before when the population is not growing. By so doing, you find out that one herder cannot control 100 to 150 cows. So whenever he goes out for rearing, he finds it difficult to control his cows. By so doing, the cows encroach into the farms. In some issues, they are settled amicably. But in some issues, you find out that crisis would erupt at the process of settling all these disputes. Because you also find out that some of the herders do these things intentionally. Because a farmer can wake up in the morning, go to the farm, and discover that his farm has been eaten up in the night by the herders. So you see, this is an intentional act. These are the things that cause all this crisis. And when the crisis erupts between the farmers and the herders, they don't resolve them the way they used to do during the days of our fathers. They will come to the house of the village heads and try to resolve these issues amicably. But these days you find out that whenever a herder encroaches into a farm, he tries to justify why he did this, or he tried to defend himself, or he tried to run away. And whenever a farmer got his a herder in the farm, grazing in his farm, sometimes the reactions are not lawful.
Yes.
People used to, in some incidences, because of anger or whatever, people used to take laws into their hands. Before you know, what is supposed to be resolved amicably will now break into a crisis. And this is the major, to me, some of the reasons or the causes of all this crisis.
Okay. Now we've been able to identify that the herder-farmer clashes is due to population increase.
Yes.
More people are now, the same piece of land that was meant for a few people in the past, now we have more people. Apart from that, we even have people coming from Gombe, from other parts of the country to farm.
Exactly.
Either physically or they invest into farming there. So we can say that the root cause of this is land and the inability of us to agree together to go into technology in such a way that the same land that we've used in the past can still be managed. We see it done in other places.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is one. Now let's go to the issue of the Shomo, Karimjo, and Wurkun crisis. What exactly is the root cause of that crisis?
Talking about the communal crisis between the Shomo, the Karimjo, and the Wurkun, You see, before you talk about the cause of all this, you have to look at the nature of Karim, the natural setting of Karim. Karim is one of the
as it Karim town,
Karim Lamido local government
okay.
as a whole. Okay. It's one of the local government that have different ethnic groups, different tribes. We have about more than 23 different tribes in Karim Lamido. And taking you back to the days of our grandparents, there was no competition. There was nothing like, this is my land, this is our boundary. They lived together in peace. But as time goes on, population increases, education comes in, now we begin to struggle against each other. We are struggling for domination and against domination. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So now, to some extent, the competition within ourselves become unhealthy because this particular tribe is seeing this tribe as a threat. This particular tribe is afraid of this tribe dominating it. It's either in government, in community, or in whatever. So because of this, we begin to set boundaries among ourselves. This is something our great grandparents did not do it. They lived peacefully without boundaries. But now, in our days, we begin to create boundaries. This is where my community is. This is where my community is. And this comes as a result of, can I call it division? Because as it is, I can clearly tell you, Karim have 4 chiefdoms and 20 districts. Okay. This is to tell you that we have 20 district heads. Yeah. And all these 20 district heads, everybody have a boundary with the neighboring community. So you see, in this case, definitely issue of land dispute must come in. Yes. Because whenever there's issue of boundary, there's issue of land dispute. Yes. There's this common issue of land trespass. So this is what actually causes these issues, and there are accumulated grievances between the 2 warring communities that have not been settled. So people do overlook all those things and think we are together, it's not going to cause anything. But as time goes on, it becomes a big problem. It becomes a big problem. It is commonly an issue of land dispute. But, you know, since it is not settled the way it is supposed to be settled, it has now graduated from land dispute. Now it was majorly between the Wurkun and the Shomo. But now, it's now graduated from Wurkun and Shomo and Karinjo. You understand?
And if care is not taken,
it may expand to other tribes around.
Definitely.
Because take it or leave it, the level of destruction and whatever that have been caused by this crisis does not only affect the communities involved. There are other communities or tribes that are not involved, but somehow they are affected by the crisis.
And we also have criminals who, when they see you with a motorcycle, they just kill and say and take your property in the name of their fighting.
Exactly. We have other criminals, as you've rightly mentioned, that they are somehow the causes of all these issues because they take up arms unnecessarily. And whenever crisis erupts, they will use ethnic group or tribal dispute as a benchmark, you know,
I heard some cases whereby if they find out that you have a store full of goods, because they want to rob that store, they will rob it, then set fire on the house.
Then they will call it a tribal, it's an ethnic clash.
I also had cases of people traveling with motorcycles. Because they want to rob the person of the motorcycle or money with him, they will kill him and assume that it's because it is this tribe.
This tribe that.
So, and then again, I would like to ask, what role has government played in the area of providing security, in the area of coming to to come and settle the issue? And have they taken steps from the past? We've seen committees being set up. Are the resolutions of the committee being followed to the letter by the government?
Mr. Abraham, you see, this is where the problem lies. We have a government that is responsible for securing the life and the properties of the people. First of all, I appreciate the effort of the governor, His Excellency Governor Kefas Abu, when we have this crisis from the first time it started, he set up a committee of inquiry to look into the issues. But Mr. Abraham, you see, I don't think setting up committee alone is enough. Because if committee were set up to look into the issues, remember this crisis is not happening for the first time. It keeps reoccurring.
Yes.
So what are the recommendations of the committees that were set up by the government to look into the crisis? And if at all the committee bring their recommendations, were their recommendations implemented?
That is the question.
That is the question. Because we are not going to look at only the root cause of these issues. We have to provide a preventive measures on ground. Assuming there are preventive measures on ground, the crisis will not be reoccurring. For this to keep happening, that is to tell you the government did not put preventive measures to prevent further occurrence of these incidences.
Now, as a youth leader, someone that have been involved, and maybe one way or the other, you definitely are involved because you are the chairman.
Exactly.
What do you think should be the preventive measure if you have to advise the governor now?
If I'm to advise the governor as a son of Karim Lamido, we have our traditional rulers. We have the youth. Mr. Abraham, if you go to the place where all these things are happening, you won't find elderly people, all age there. Yes. You won't find women and children. You will always find the youths. Yes. And every youth of every community is respecting the elders, the traditional rulers in their community. So I think these are the right people to involve when you are trying to set up, you are trying to make peace. Because whether we like it or not, the youths are the machineries that are used in destruction of Karim Lamido. Yes. Unknowingly or sometimes intentionally. Because there are youths that are not educated. Sorry to say this. Yeah. There are youths that are jobless. Yes. There are youths that have no education, but they have access to arms.
Definitely.
So they feel the only way of survival is to use what they have to get what they want. So how are you going to reduce or prevent all these crises? You have to create awareness, educate all these youth that this is the effect of all these things you are doing. This is wrong, and this is what you should not do, and engage our traditional authorities. Like I rightly said before, we have 20 districts, which means we have 20 district heads. Every community you find in Karim is under a district. What is the role of those district heads we have? What is the role of our traditional institutions in Karim?
And even religious leaders.
And even religious leaders. Let's just narrow it to traditional institutions. What is the role they have been playing there? Because you cannot tell me, if I should be a youth leader of a community, then I should be able to know all the youth in the community. To the extent that if anything happened in my community or the neighboring community, I know the next step to take. But you find out that people are living, youth are living without control. Youth are living without respecting anybody because nobody stands up to talk to them. You understand? So I think the government should engage the youth in dialogue and the traditional institutions of every community. Because these are the key people in every society. Whether good or bad, if you go to where there's development in any community, you will find out the youth are the backbone of that development. Yeah. If you go to any community and there's crisis, you will find out the youth are there. So I think the government should involve our youth and our traditional rulers. That's my advice for the government in that aspect.
I think it's a good one, because if you can engage the youth, they'll tell you their grievances. Some is just pure lack of opportunity, so they see war as a means of. And
exactly.
Then the traditional rulers, they must be empowered. You know, youth watch. If they see that your traditional ruler can speak to your political leaders and they will listen, they will know that our traditional ruler has no power.
Yes.
They will follow the political leader, and the political leader will use them politically. But if the youth see that when the chief of my village speak, the councillor listens, the chairman listens, he will respect the chief of his village. And when they tell them, don't go to war, You know, we respect tradition. There's a way the traditional rulers, they will say the laws, the gods of the land say don't
do that.
And the fear of not doing it, out of 10 people, I'm sure 9 will not do it. If they say, if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, that will happen. So I think we need to strengthen our traditional institutions. Now, going forward with what is happening now, a lot of people don't know the effect of this in next season's harvest, especially now that we've cultivated the habit of dry season farming. What do you think, how do you think this will affect food production in Taraba State? Because Karim Lamido happens to be one of the grain basket of Taraba State.
Mr. Abraham, I can boldly tell you that Karim Lamido have the potentials of feeding the whole of Taraba State. If properly, there is proper use of the resources we have in Karim Lamido. As it is, I can tell you, with this dry season farming every year, people come from other states to invest in Karim. They invest in billions of naira. We're not talking of millions, billions of naira in this dry farming season. People come from the far north. People come from the neighboring Adamawa and Gombe state. Now, this is another part where the youth and the people of Karim should benefit from the resources they have. Even if you don't have the money to do the dry season farming yourself, the people that are coming from outside to do it, they are not coming with manpower. The manpower is the people they found in Karim there. So at least as a youth, even if you are jobless, this should give you a job to do.
Definitely.
As a landowner, you don't have the strength to cultivate the land. You can give it out and you collect money in return. Mr. Abraham, if you go to Karim from February, March, April, you will see how people are busy working in the farm. You understand? Going here and there. You will see grains moving out of Karim. There was a time I was in Karim somewhere around April or so. I sat down somewhere within a period of 30 minutes time. I can't count how many trucks fully loaded with bags of rice going out of Karim. And imagine this, they keep going out for months. That is to tell you that Karim have resources in abundance, only this dry farming season. But with this insecurity on ground now, the outsiders who used to come and invest their money in Karim, they may not come.
They may not come.
Investors may be afraid of the insecurity. So you see, by so doing, we are already destroying ourselves economically, because this is another economic empowerment in Karim Lamido. The indigenes also used to do their rice farming in small scales or big hectares of land, depend on how their capacity is. But now, even the indigenes cannot go to farm without a fear of possible attack. Because, trust me, this thing is now not about one or two tribes. It's about the whole tribe of Karim. Everybody lives in fear. Because if you go to Karim 1, the axis of Jain, Bikwin, and Bandawa, and Munga, people live in fear of reprisal attack from herders. Because of the incident that happened early or mid this year, Munga, July, August, September. If you come to Karim 2, or let me say part of Karim 1 and Karim 2, which is the Karinjo, the Shomo, and the Wurkun, everybody live in fear because this person is thinking this person will attack me. You understand? If you go to the other part of Karim, which is the boundaries between Pilato, Bauchi, and Gombe, people live in fear. In fact, some people vacate their village. They leave. Everybody runs because of
headers.
No, not headers. The kidnappers, banditry, and cattle rustlers. So you can now say that Karim, the whole of Karim, nowhere is, as far as peace talk is concerned, nowhere is peaceful.
Thank you very much. So now, I'm going to just ask you 2 more questions before we round up. What, as a youth leader, you are a voice in society.
Yes.
You're a voice by a lot of people. For you to be chosen, elected as the leader, that means you're a voice they want to listen to. What is your message to the youth of Karim Lamido local government?
Mr. Abraham, I always have one message to my youth. Even before now, we should live in peace and unity. Any other thing we want will come when we have peace and we are united. Without peace and unity, we cannot achieve what we want. What do we want? Is it development? Development cannot come without peace. And if we are not united, we can't bring development to Karim. My message to the youth is this. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be used for the destruction of Karim Lamido. Because I am very sad that whenever this incident happened, and you heard that 1 or 2 persons are killed in Karim, you go there, you find out that they are youths. Because they are the ones that take arm and go to the battle to fight each other. It's very disheartening. We have been living together for decades. Our parents have been living together for decades. And what happened? All of a sudden, we are taking arms against each other.
Yeah, we've intermarried with ourselves.
We intermarried.
Yeah, we've got to themselves. I know they know themselves. They call themselves names.
Exactly.
And they kill themselves.
Exactly. You know the house of this person. He knows your house. He knows. You know, we are like one family. Because every community is close to each other. We meet in social gatherings. We meet in places of worship. You know, we meet in market and everywhere. We know each other. But at a slightest misunderstanding, we took up arms against each other. And the youth are always found in the midst of all these things. I am trying to call on the youth that they should consider making use of the potentials we have in Karim Lamido for the betterment of themselves. Okay. If you are not going to do anything, you don't have the capacity to change the lives of your community, your entire community or Karim Lamido, do it for yourself.
Definitely.
If you become a responsible somebody, you have helped us. Because instead of destroying us, you will now give yourself reasons why you should not go into causing crisis or all this kind of thing. And I call on the youth to please find a way. We cannot say it's illiteracy is the root cause of all these things, but illiteracy contribute to all these things. Because Mr. Abraham, you can imagine if you are a graduate of any institution in Nigeria, at least you are educated. You cannot take out arms to just kill somebody because you know this is wrong, and you know what the law says about it. So you cannot do this. But because of, if you are not educated, you know, illiteracy maybe have eaten you up, and you know, ignorance, coupled with some kind of drugs and joblessness, you think the only way is, if I see you with a valuable, the only way I can get it, let me take arm and, you know, see you somewhere and attack you and take it. You know, this is the sense of reason of a common person who is, you know, jobless and drug addicted. So I'm calling on the youth of Karim Lamido. I am calling on the youth of Karim Lamido to please give peace a chance. Because this thing cannot help us. Our parents, our great parents lived together without... Karim Lamido is created 1976, Mr. Abraham.
Definitely.
And since 1976, Karim Lamido have not witnessed a crisis of what we have witnessing recently. Recently, this year, they had a mass burial of 40-something people in Munga. Yeah. And subsequently, about 20 to 30, you know, on different occasions being killed. This is the first time we have this in Karim Lamido. And what is the problem? The youth should sit down and ask themselves, the people that were killed in Munga Lelau, they are mostly youth. There are graduates among them. There are working class people among them. There are potential leaders among them. But you can imagine, their life is cut short because of the action of 1 or 2 persons among them in the community. You understand? The person that will cause the destruction of a community may not even be a responsible person.
Yes, no, it may not be part of.
This is why I always call on the youth that whenever something happens, we should sit down and investigate. Don't just react. Because this is the issue may be caused by somebody that may not even be that way responsible in the community, but he will cause the death of so many responsible and potential leaders in the community.
Thank you very much. And for the government, what is your message to the government? Both the state and the federal government.
Mr. Abraham, if we talk about the government, I've said it earlier, we have a government. And I've mentioned it earlier that Governor Kefas have tried by setting up a committee. But since this thing keeps reoccurring, it means there is more to do than setting up committees. We have the federal government, the state government. I think both this government should come together to help Karim Lamido. Because recently, if you go to Karim 2, where this incident of kidnapping is happening, you see on the social media where the member representing Karim 2 have been going into the bushes trying to assist security agencies to do their work. But him alone cannot solve this issue. Him alone cannot solve this issue. Last time when this incident happened, the member House of Reps have presented the issue in the National Assembly. He spoke on the BBC, But if this effort are put separately, it may not yield results. The government needs to come together, the federal and the state government, to come together to assist Karim Lamido. The security men are there. Thank God for the Nigerian army. They are the 6th Brigade, especially the commander, Brigadier General Kesi Uwa, have been trying his best. In fact, in August, they lost 2 of their men in Bandawa there. You can understand the terrain of Karim. Karim is a local government that is locked. You understand? Yeah. You cannot have access to Karim easily anywhere. Being it from Jalingo, from Gombe, from... That is why these bandits use all these routines, in the bushes, the forest, to access Karim. But you find out that even with this difficult terrain, the army find their way into some villages where you didn't expect that you will find the army there. You will find them there. But that is not enough. No. We are calling on the federal government and the state government to please put hands together. This same Karim Lamido you see, Mr. Abraham, if they said, let's say next year, 2026, will be campaigning times, you will see from all the positions, everybody will have access to Karim. But now they have no access to Karim. So why? Why? We have a very good population there. If you can have access to Karim, to go to Karim for campaign times, why can't you have access to Karim now that the people need you? When you are a leader and something is happening and you step your foot on that land, it is another thing.
Yes. It boosts people.
It gives the people a sense that this person is with us. Definitely. But as a leader, something is happening to your people and you stay far away. No matter how you speak at the peak of your voice, the people will think you are not with them. You are only speaking from your comfort zones.
Very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Comrade Panya. You've really spoken well, and I appreciate that the Karim Lamido Progressive Forum chose you as a leader because.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and
thank you, Mr. Abraham.
I wish you all the best.
We will continue to do our best to make sure what we are looking for in Karim is peace and unity.
Okay. And
any other thing will come when we have peace and unity.
Okay, and be rest assured that on Some TV and Taraba News, we always provide a platform for peace, for people who want to speak about peace. Thank you very much, Comrade. You're welcome to the show. And maybe next time we'll call you again. Maybe by that time there will be peace and we'll speak.
We pray so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abraham, and I appreciate Some TV for the platform.
I also appreciate.
Always thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
So, well, that is Comrade Terra Panya, Aluda Panya, the chairman of the Karim Lamido Youth Progressive Forum, and he has spoken well on the need for peace in Karim Lamido. And we're also calling on everyone involved, the various ethnic groups, to come together as one, because without peace, there will be no development. And we also call upon the youth The land belongs to you. The future of Karilamido is yours. Don't destroy it now, because tomorrow you will no longer be youths. You will need those communities to go and retire into. And I'm also calling on government. We must all come together to ensure that there is peace and stability in every part of Nigeria. This is where we draw the curtain on the interview segment of the morning show.